Good Friday afternoon to you all. Welcome to our Vendée Globe live show in English. It's day 68 on the race course and it's Friday the 15th of January 2021. The action is still very, very hot off the Brazilian coast just now. It's not so much a samba, which of course is a dance for two. It's a dance for 6 boats, at least less than 100 miles between the top 6 boats. It's still fairly modest trade winds just now, unsettled, they're shifty. Especially closer into the coast. It's been squally and, to say, a little bit more difficult inshore. Boris Herrmann is increasingly putting pressure on the leaders. He's sailing steadily. He's got a full set of foils. He's got a full set of sails, and he really does have the armoury to do well. It's a purely coincidence, therefore, that Boris is up to third. We're having a little bit of a focus on Germany. Germany is a new territory for the Vendée Globe for solo ocean racing, and Boris is single-handedly opening up that market, and there's a huge fan base following his every move. My guests today are 2 German sailing champions, a European 49er champion, Susann Beucke from Germany. She's in Vilamoura in Portugal just now, where she's training. She's qualified with her partner for the Olympics. And also Harm Mueller at home in Hamburg, Germany. He is a 2 times TP52 world champion, and Harm is with us as well. Also in the room, if you like, Holly Cova will join us later. She is the team manager for Boris's team, and a full house with Will Harris, the co-skipper for Boris, and also a little bit of a weather expert. He'll run us through the weather in the meantime. So hopefully, do we have Boris yet? We're hoping to join Boris on board the Sea Explorer Yacht Club de Monaco. He is lying in third. And he's making good progress. He had such a good strategy in the south. Maybe if we could join Will for a very brief moment. Just talk to us, Will, about Boris's strategy in the south, because it really has all been about preserving the equipment, preserving material, and sailing steadily, Will.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to see Boris sailing the last few days. He's really stepped up the game, and it's like he's found a new gear out of the boat. Throughout the Southern Ocean and through most of the race, Boris has been sailing in quite a reserved race, taking it nice and easy, and just making sure that he's gets around and finishes his lap and collects his lap of science data. But now he's in the hunt for the top spot. So it's shown that his strategy's really worked out, and in fact he's sailing really well, sailing really fast, and I think he's got a really good mindset coming into this final stage of the race.
Well, we should find out direct from the horse's mouth, if you want to put it that way. Boris Herrmann on board Sea Explorer Yacht Club de Monaco in third place. Boris, how are you?
Hi, Andy, and hi, everyone there. It's nice to know a couple of German friends and Will and Holly around. Nice group you have united there today. I'm very good, thank you. It is a little bit more livable. The extreme heat I was suffering a bit from yesterday is better today, and last night was better. And also the squalls are more modest, and therefore I could. The wind is also lifting. It's going aft. I'm at 90 truant angle now, and that's the angle where the foils work best, so that's also why you see this stepping up in speed. It's just our phase here of the race where we have the biggest benefit from the foils, really.
And Boris, you've single-handedly opened up the German market. You have a huge following now, a big star in Germany.
Well, yeah, I can only grasp a little bit from here the German situation, but I'm quite communicative through WhatsApp, so I get some feedback of people who I know or don't know, and messages transmitted, and it's very touching sometimes. I had someone who said my wife just got diagnosed cancer, and we see your struggle out there, so that gives us the courage to also live our struggle back here. So there was some amazing energy coming back also from these fans and from people, kids that build little models in their child room, and school classes following. So it has been an amazing exchange, And also the media really picked up the topic much more than in the previous editions. Of course, when there was no German competitor, there was much less media attention. But I had never thought that the main news would like bring it several times and so on. And yeah, I'm really happy to see that.
Now listen, Boris, you stay focused, but in the meantime, I've got a couple of German sailing champions for you. We have Susann Beucke, who's a 49er FX European champion. She's in Villa Mura and would like to say hello.
Hallo Boris. Hi. Hallo Boris. Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. We are extremely proud of what you're doing. For me, you're a great role model. I'm a sailor, and it is very hard to find a way into sailing in Germany. And I think what you're doing at the moment is showing all of us sailors in Germany that it's possible to build something huge. And if you believe in your dream and like stay persistent for it, and as well for the younger generation, you're a huge, huge role model. My little 3 nieces, they go to bed every evening checking where you are on the map, and makes me so proud that they grow up with sailing now, due to what you're doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sunny. So great to hear you're here, and good to know you're in Villa Mura. Despite the COVID crisis, you can continue your training, and I'm so proud of you too to be qualified for the games. I'm sure you can bring a medal to Germany. And also you are inspiring me all these years. It has been almost like 12 years. I think you're following this Olympic dream. It is at least as tough as following the Vendée dream, making it happen, pulling a project together, and you did that in your sport of sailing, and I wish you all the best for that. And I'm sure we will soon sail together on some kind of boat. So cheers. Back to Portugal.
Thank you, Boris. Someone else who knows about the pursuit of excellence and has achieved World Championship status twice is Harm Mueller. Harm, say hello to Boris.
Hallo Boris, wahnsinnig gut dich zu sehen. It's Boris, one thing what I want to say, we have been in contact with WhatsApp regarding this regatta, and while we are sitting here with the family under the Christmas tree around Christmas and New Year, and have been in contact when you are sailing in the Southern Ocean. That was a little bit strange for me, strange feeling. You know better than me, I'm sailing in a big boat as well. And so many guys in my team sailed across around the world, and especially a few guys won already the Volvo Ocean Race around the world. By that time, in the beginning 2000 with Ilbrook, you had never the chance to see abroad around the world what's going on down there. But right now it's like reality TV, and we are sitting in front of the screen, and at full respect what you're doing over there. Perfect.
Yeah, good to hear you, Harm, and I'm sure we get. I hope we get our opportunity to catch up for coffee in our neighborhood in Hamburg, where we sometimes see each other by coincidence. Harm is doing a professional project, a work project in my neighborhood, and I see him sometimes in front of my living room, which is quite funny. But you know, Harm, this is just the beginning. The digital age is just entering sailing, and we are so on a back foot compared to other sports. You know, why don't we have cameras live full time all the time, like Big Brother? And that's, I mean, technologically that would be already possible. And we are a bit conservative maybe in sailing. We move a bit slower on that, but that will come for sure in the next edition or the one after that. That you just switch on and you see the jibe happening live, or the sail change, or the struggles and so on. So no, I'm glad you appreciate it, and thanks for your support.
Harm, do you have a question for Boris?
What do you think? I mean, you know better than me that we are normally in a totally different race mode. We are doing up and downs, so I'm looking all the time for the short-term tactics. What do you think? Where will be the final decision to be made to win the Vendée Globe? Because right now it looks to me it's getting closer and closer. and the next of maybe 3 or 4 days will decide the race. Finally, maybe it ends up so that everything will be upside down, maybe 100 miles in front of the finish line. But what's your expectation about this?
Yeah, what we observe at the moment is a kind of drag racing mode. So it is relatively flat sea. It is good conditions for everyone to go fast, more or less. And this will remain for the next 6 days, 7 days. And then we enter the northern hemisphere westerly low pressure system regime. And their strategy will open up. You can see big splits of 300, 400 miles, someone going jibing earlier or jibing later, approaching the lows differently. And I know that Apivia is really strong downwind and breeze, probably a bit stronger than us. So that remains the strong favorite of this race for sure. But for me, already being able to put some pressure on is a fantastic opportunity here, as close as possible. And yeah, and as I said, the real kind of opening up of the game will be the last 4 days, really, I think. So from a little bit before the Azores. And then going into the Bay of Biscay, we could see a massive low pressure there and huge differences in speed and angle, and then big splits.
Listen, Boris, we won't take any more of your time up just now. You've got a big job on your hands, but you're doing fantastically, and hopefully we'll join you again in a couple of days. But good work, Boris. Keep it up.
Thank you all. Cheers. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
I'm going to go back to Portugal, I hope, just to catch up with Sani just for 1 minute. Sani, just tell us what life is like in Portugal in the Olympic programme.
Yeah, we are extremely lucky, I think. We are allowed to train here. Portugal is in a lockdown since midnight, but we got some special permission to walk from here to the sail club and for grocery shopping or to the doctor if you have to. So I feel really privileged in the position we are at the moment, that we are given the chance to train for the Olympics. Who knows if they're going to happen? We're just trying to think about it, just do what we have to do. So life is quite good down here.
In the meantime, you're saying Boris is a big inspiration to you and has been for a while.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, I think he's a big role model because he was believing in something like offshore sailing in Germany, where it hasn't been happening so much since now. What he's doing at the moment, he is in the German national television like almost every second night. And he's doing something great for us as well. It's always hard to find sponsors or to gain acceptance for a sport like sailing. And he's helping us immensely, and as well as a motivator to know you can do this in a country like Germany. Fantastic.
I'll not take up any more of your time. You too have got a job to do. You have to train today. So thank you so much for joining us, and have a good day in Portugal.
Thank you very much. Bye.
We'll go back to Harm, if you don't mind. To Harm, an internet question for you. May already have answered it, but Harm, are you and Germany proud of Boris?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's for Germany. It's so difficult to have some positive broadcasting regarding sailing, because I mean, for sure, we're a nation with two different coastlines, the Baltic Sea and the North Sea. But in the news, it's all the time football, handball, whatever. And it's what everybody said before. It's not very common that a sailor is so often in the prime news. This is not very common, and it's a really positive sign. I really tried in the late 2000s to create for my first platoon campaign an America's Cup Challenge. And for this, you need the support of the sponsorship and the support of the German industry. And if you have no publicity in the news and the TV, it's really hard to convince all these people. But what Boris has done right now, it's a big achievement, and I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen in the future.
Indeed, Harm. Hopefully we can all be part of that future. But thank you so much for joining us today, Harm, and hopefully we'll see you somewhere sunny and safe soon.
Yeah, hopefully again on the race course, Andy, with the TP52 class this year.
Indeed. So let's look at the rankings at midday. Charlie Dallin is leading by 19.3 miles, fairly static differential delta between Charlie Dallin and Louis Burton. Boris has caught up just a little bit more. Just in terms of 24-hour runs, well, Charlie did 317, Louis Burton 318, and Boris 376. So that tells its own story, I think. Boris 15.7 knots compared to 13.2 and 13.3 for the two leaders. Thomas Riong in fourth, Damien Sagan in fifth. Sagan is 52.6 miles behind. Yannick Bestaven dropped to sixth. He is 97 miles behind now, and he's still in that westerly position. Benjamin Dutroux in seventh. Giancarlo Pedotti in eighth. Ninth, Jean Le Cam. Jean Le Cam is now at 226.9 miles behind. Remember all the time that Jean Le Cam has that 16 hours of redress available to him. Yannick Bestaven has 10, 15, and Boris has got 6. So just keep that in mind all the time. Meantime, going down the table, looking at our internationals, Alan Rura in 15th, doing nicely, 16.9 knots just now. 17th, Pip Hare doing 11.3 knots. Kojiro Shiraishi in 20th, steady and slightly lighter breezes after Cape Horn, 8.8 knots just near the Falklands. Miranda Merrin is probably now under 700 miles to Cape Horn, coming in a very nice northwesterly breeze and 13 knots of boat speed. And then further down the table, Ari Husela, nice and steady as always, doing 12.2 knots on board the Stark Mocha. So let's see, what do we have? Well, let's talk with Will Harris briefly, if we can. Will, tell us a little about your analysis of the weather to come for the fleet at the front in particular.
Yeah, so I think towards the end of today, basically, as they get towards the corner of Brazil, the wind's going to start turning more towards the right. So at the moment, they've been sailing at sort of between 65 and 85 to wind angle, quite close angles to the wind. And, you know, it's been allowing them to foil, but not really get to these sort of plus 20 knot speeds. But this afternoon, the breeze should start to make its way to the right, which will mean that it's more like sort of 90 to 110 true wind angle. And this is really where they'll be able to average in the 20 plus knots. And I think that will be quite interesting to see, because it's almost like they'll be shifting gears again. Everyone might have to consider some sail changes. But also, what's that gonna mean for the different boats in the fleet? You know, Boris has been gaining miles all the time. Hopefully he can carry on doing that, but you know, we might see Charlie be able to speed up a bit like Boris has been doing as well. But that'll be quite interesting. And then sort of on the 17th in the morning, so in just under 48 hours from now, they'll be making their approach to the doldrums, and that will be the next big decision in the race.
Good. Now listen, we've always got nice internet questions for you. The simplest is our third internet question of the day, and the question is a win realistic for Boris?
There's no doubt about it. A win is very realistic for him. He's at 100% at the moment, and you know, if he plays his cards right, he really could be in for a shot of it at the moment. You know, as I was saying earlier, the mentality Boris has in the race, I think, is so important to what he has, and I really hope that he can keep kind of the level head that he's had all the way to the finish. What I really hate to see is he gets caught up in sort of the 5 or 10 miles that they're fighting for at the moment and forget about the bigger picture. But it was really good to hear him there. He's already looking ahead at the North Atlantic strategy. He's being proactive about everything that he does in terms of his strategy, and you know, I'm very very hopeful that he's in a good run for the overall win.
Thank you, Will. Now let's have a quick look at our weather, our view for the weather, particularly for the boats approaching Recife, but all the way through the fleet. Well, looking first of all really at the front of the fleet, that really is where the action is. It's incredibly close, and it's all down to a little bit of positioning in terms of east and west, and the gust patterns, the little squalls, which are worse closer to the shore in the east than they are to the west. So we're going to look at, first of all, we can just see the radar scans there with the little gusts. there have been many more on the east of the track than out in the west. We're now seeing Damien Sagan starting to go slightly more pronounced easterly route, but that's just a little kind of overview of that just now. But in terms of the actual positioning, and I don't know how clearly you'll be able to see this, but you'll see that particularly, for example, Boris Herrmann's track is very, very straight. It indicates less gusts, less need to alter course and to change, trim the sails as much in the west. And then if you look at Yannick Bestaven, his course is very pronounced or significantly different, much more zigging and zagging, as they like to say in French. It's a little bit similar for Louis Burton. Louis Burton coming into better pressure as they go north generally, albeit just small changes, small incremental changes as they get north. But so that gives you a little bit of an idea there. And then let's run this little animation here. You can just see these little squalls moving through from the offshore position inshore. And all the time, you know, you're hit by one of these, that's taking minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes to change the regulation, the setup of the boat and alter course for that. And it's really, at the moment, it's all about maintaining high averages, not having to do too many changes and just keep the boat going fast. And so certainly that's what we have seen with Boris in particular. Let's bring up this animation now. So just in the kind of big picture, we're coming up towards Recife, a little bit lighter, as we said yesterday, light close inshore, and it's going to be coming up during the night when we approach Recife. There's more current, particularly inshore at Recife, and at night, as I say, lighter breezes. There's no thermal effect, and so it could be a little bit of compression there. And then moving out of Recife, you're coming into the more lifted breeze, but it's going to be a balance because we want to try and cross the doldrums relatively west, because that's where there appears to be a little bit more wind pressure. If I just bring that up, you see a lighter area in the doldrums, and then more wind in the west. But in general, the east thereafter is better. So it's going to be a balance, and it's certainly kind of first in through that little transition phase off Recife. It should be kind of first out, but let's look at the tracking. So we're still seeing this compression generally, a little bit of regrouping at Recife, and then coming out into the lifting breeze, curving into a more easterly direction, certainly east of north now. And then this is our crossing point for the doldrums. And then heading now into the northeasterly trades. So our weather experts saying it's a fairly straightforward crossing, although there is some storm cloud activity building there for the doldrums passage. Now then, let's look at the chart for the second half of the fleet, or the boats coming up the South Atlantic. So we have this little group here, Stéphane Le Deraison and co here, just in the top edge of this high pressure, low pressure system there for them. So a bit of a transition for them just now. And then out here, the group of three, Jeremy Bayou, Arnaud Boisset, and Alan Rura, all out here, still underneath this high pressure. Not too much change since yesterday for them. Similarly for Pip here. Pip's got good conditions just now, going in a reasonably tight reach, kind of wind just forward of the beam in probably 15 knots for her. And then quickly looking at the situation for Miranda Merrin. Miranda Merrin, I think she was just under 800 miles to the Cape Horn this morning. She's still in the front of the system in a northwesterly breeze. Should be relatively flat water and should give a good conditions for Miranda, I think, almost all the way into Cape Horn. And then looking a little bit further back, if we've got anyone there, yes, we have Alexia Barry. Alexia has had quite strong winds and has come out of them in more moderate conditions for her, and Ari Hosella out the back as well, still in his preferred conditions, 20-25 knots, and going well on Starke Mokka. Indeed he is, Ari Hosilla. Now then, Holly Cova, the team manager for Boris Herman for Yacht Club de Monaco Sea Explorer. Holly, this has been an explosion of interest in Germany. What's it been like on your side? And give us some numbers.
Yeah, it's been really exciting this end, Andy. Bigger than we imagined, I think. So I think Susan mentioned earlier, but we've been on the news sort of every day. Boris has been featured almost every day on the news at the moment in Germany on lots of different channels. And I think it's all helped really just to make it more mainstream for people. And, we've been running press conferences live from the boat with Boris, which has also been really exciting, 20 to 25 journalists at a time. And it's meant that most newspapers are also picking it up. So we've seen, upwards of 80 or 90 kind of articles a day on Boris at the moment, which has been really fantastic. And the media valuation has also been, really high. It's very exciting at the moment. Say that again, Andy?
I said, give us a number. What's your media value so far?
I take them with a pinch of salt, but at the moment we've got a 172 million euro monetary value placed on the media coverage on Boris at the moment. So much higher than we expected, and really, really pleased. He's a great communicator, so I think that's winning over a lot of the German public. He's very, very honest, and I think authentic with how he communicates to everyone.
And what was your kind of strategy pre-start in terms of the communication? Did you have a message you were trying to bring over, or it just seems to have be as open as possible and as often as possible?
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely been our strategy. So Boris has always wanted to communicate as honestly as possible with everyone, and I think he does that very well. And also, really, really using social media, I think has been another strategy. We wanted to have as much content and as much of Boris's feelings as well as possible shown to people, not just the straight sailing, which of course we communicate about too, but more like how he's feeling and what he's doing, which has been really important. And of course for us, the science and ocean and climate message is also one we want to communicate about a lot. And I think it gives the campaign more angles, for people to kind of latch onto. So it's not just about sailing. There's a lot more involved and a lot more kind of topics and areas that people can be interested in as well.
And you're looking to the future just now, I believe.
Say it again. We're looking to the future.
You're looking to the future at the moment. You have a plan right through the year and into the ocean race, perhaps.
Yeah, we're aiming for Ocean Race 2022, and obviously for this year now, 21, we've got a plan to do the full race calendar, and obviously I think Boris will be in a bit of demand in Germany, so I think there's some talk shows planned and some more publicity as well. I'm sure once he's had a few weeks rest back at home with his family.
Good. I have one question from the internet for you, Holly. And it's what has been your main job during the race, if there's such a thing?
Yeah, we're quite a small team. So, one of my biggest jobs has definitely been the PR side. I'm lucky that I've got Lucia working a lot on the social media, but the PR has been really big. And also, sponsorship communications and kind of communications with all of our partners is also obviously really, really important, and they've been absolutely amazing during this race. Kuna and Nagel and Yacht Club de Monaco have done huge kind of calls and conferences with all of their employees and clients and everything. So it's been quite exciting as well from that point of view that we have sponsors that really, love what's happening and love to activate, but it also means it's a lot of work.
Good, you're doing a great job, Holly, and we look forward to seeing you in Les Sables d'Olonne in the not too distant future. Thank you so much for joining us on the Vendée Globe live show.
Thanks, Andy. See you soon.
So that's Holly Cova, team manager for Boris Herman's Sea Explorer Yacht Club de Monaco team. Boris in third, our little German focus today. Tomorrow we're going to focus a little bit on sustainable energies on board the Moccas and the future there. We're going to have Phil Sharp joining us on the programme. Any questions in that area or indeed anything else, do post them on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram, and we'll join you tomorrow.